Hello YouTube and welcome back to Crusader Kings 3 House of Mordecius, where we are attempting to take over all of Ireland and eventually the world. It's ya boy, the High Chieftain of Munster here, beset by plague and beset by enemies at all sides, but we're here to take the power back. Or something. If you like this video, please make sure to like it, please make sure to comment, let me know what you think of Crusader Kings 3 and House of Mordecius, and make sure to subscribe so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. My voice might be a little scratchy during this video, so please ignore that. So to start things off, there are a couple things I want to take a look at here. The first thing is that we could declare war against this guy Jarl Kjodvi, and we have an okay chance of defeating him. We have an okay amount of troops, better than his, and the point of that basically would be to take over his little county here, the county of Defed. But honestly, like, I think I kind of want to just let some time pass here and just kind of see how things shake out. I want to spend some more time amassing troops and gold, and just in general, yeah, try to see what we can kind of get shaken here in the first couple days of 876, and we'll see what happens. We're still waiting for these plagues to die down. That would be really nice if they'd give us a break. Oh, well, here's something. Dodgis has been caught trying to embezzle. This was an abuse of power and caused 15 strife with Dodgis's peer vassals. I lost 30 opinion of Dodgis for 10 years. He embezzled from me. And it's a crime. It allows me to rightfully imprison Dodgis. Dodgis, you are a real fucking pain in my side. I'm gonna tell you that much right now. It might be time to do something about this Dodgis guy. But for now, education at an end. My ward, Salic, has come of age, and it is time he left my care. Salic's energetic nature was thought to be a sign of an affinity for war and combat, but perhaps it was simply unruliness. He has only developed a basic understanding of the subject, but at least he has learned the essentials of managing an army. I can only hope that the rest will come with experience. While not excellent results, I am sure his parents will have no complaints. So Salic has gained the trait Tough Soldier, and he gained the trait Military Engineer. He's no longer our ward. Until we meet again, Salic. Okay, so now the question of what to do with Dodgis. If we were to imprison him, is there anybody that could potentially take his place that would be better at his job? Sort by diplomacy here. At this point, maybe the best option here would be Finn, who is the guy that we saved from bleeding to death. He only has 10 diplomacy though, where Dodgis has 12. What we can do here is go to our courtiers, and we can sort by diplomacy and see if I can hire anybody who would be as good or better than Dodgis. And the answer basically is no. There's nobody that could possibly be hireable that would be better than Dodgis. So what we can do actually now is we can invite claimants, and that will have some people show up to my court who are just a little bit better than your average bear, I suppose. Cost us a pretty penny in prestige, but that's sometimes what you gotta do. Dodgis might have to go by a little unperturbed at the moment, because at this moment we're gonna try to do something to pump up our prestige numbers, and I think the thing we want to do is host another hunt. So let's go ahead and see if we can plan one good here. And it looks as though the best place to hunt still is Kinsale here in the south, just because of all the forests. Ooh, but here's something here, is that we're still experiencing the effects of the plague, so it actually might not be safe for us to leave. Oh, and you know what? I actually totally forgot that we're in seclusion right now, so it actually is not smart for us to leave at all. We'll just have to do something else in terms of gaining prestige. Well, let's let a couple days pass here and see what comes of the situation. One thing we will do, though, is we want to swing the scales of power back toward us by leveraging how pious we are. Basically just showing the realm that, you know, who's really boss at the end of the day against this bald fuck Dodgis. We're gonna swing the scales of power. Now hopefully we'll be able to end our entrenched regency here pretty soon, and Dodgis won't be a problem anymore, at least on that front. Though at a certain point we probably will want to get rid of him. But until then, we're gonna have to make sure he remembers who's really in charge around here. Here's an event here, Stone of Glass. As I struggle to make out the tiny letters on the scroll before me, I feel a headache building once again. Why do scribes insist on writing such small symbols? I squint and try again. Nothing short of a miracle. With the aid of a stone of glass, even old men struggling with bad eyesight could read with ease. Okay, so here's an interesting choice. If we just ask Hussein for assistance, we gain a huge amount of learning lifestyle, which would be really good. But Hussein gets a weak hook or a favor on us. We can spend 50 gold getting one of these stones and still earn that 300 learning lifestyle, and we don't gain, or Hussein rather, doesn't gain a weak hook on us. We don't even have 50 gold, so we would be put into debt through this process. This last one here is the most interesting to me. We're going to sell everything which we can't read, which, you know, while an ignorant thing to do, it gets us 50 gold, so we'd be even richer than we are now, and we also lose 13 stress, which I believe would put us below the threshold for this first level of stress, so it would kind of relax our character a bit. And honestly, I think that's probably what we're going to do. So sell everything which is impossible to read. Get on it, Hussein. So yes, we are no longer as overwhelmed by stress. Our bar is down to a meager 94 stress. A new home! I am informed my hostage, Mugron, has at last arrived from Connacht. High Chieftain Merodach's son and heir will no doubt be anxious about his new life in Munster. Trust in your father, I reassure him. You will be treated well here. So Mugron comes to stay with us. And we don't have much prestige right now, but I am just in the sake of self-defense and being well prepared. I'm going to increase the size of our light footmen here up to size 3. Just getting us a little bit more strong in terms of troop numbers. And it only costs us a little bit of our prestige. Got to get those numbers up. If we're going to survive what's going on in Ireland right now, we're going to need some more troops. And we get word from High Chieftain Merodach that our daughter Nwala has safely arrived in Connacht. Consider our pact confirmed. Very good. You better treat her right. Treat her well or there'll be problems. So we can designate a guardian for our hostage Mugron that just arrived. There's a couple good options here, but the first two have consumption, which that seems kind of messed up to have a kid come stay with us and then put them in the plague houses, I guess. So we're actually going to have Chiefess Dergail. She will be the one to watch over Mugron. Thank you, Dergail. And man, that little chunk of Wales, I think it is, right there, defed, is so tempting, but we're just not quite strong enough to do anything like branching out across the seas and beginning to kind of make moves in that area. Just not quite ready for that type of move yet. We need more troops and maybe another ally or two to really start kind of focusing on that. We've got a nice couple counties under our belt, but now is not the time to start moving drastically. So we've got a decision here. We can end our capital isolation. Whether the plague has abated or not, the impact of isolation is proving too great and the gates must once again be unlocked. I won't be coming out of isolation or seclusion, but I think it is time that we open the doors. It's going to end up being bad if we don't do something here. So we'll emerge from seclusion. And a neighboring ruler lost a war. Our neighbor High Chieftain Domhnall, who I believe is the son of High Chieftain Aid, has lost against Chieftain Alfgeir of Song in the Sognian conquest of the earldom of Oriel. So he was trying to take Oriel, and he did it, apparently. That's good to know. The High Chiefdom of Meath has kind of split into a few different areas here. All the better for us. Our wife, Dergail, is pregnant. Just what we need right now. More children. And these plagues are just, like, absolutely decimating us. They've gone on for a while. Coming up into middle March of 876 AD. And I'm really just itching for the day I can end this entrenched regency. I do not like the idea of Dodgis in power, but we'll see what we can do. And High Chiefess Samthon is also pregnant now. Oh, just keep them coming. We're still not quite able to... Wait a second. If I was to appoint this lady, Dunsik, as our master of the horse, would she then join my court and be able to be appointed to a council position? Let's test it out. Nope, you know what? I think maybe only a man can be the chancellor. I really don't know. I'm kind of confused, honestly. But, I mean, it is what it is, and now we have a master of the horse, which, you know, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's always good to have someone to look after the horses. It's just a little bit more expensive than I would have wanted. But if we get rid of her now, it'll just cause problems down the road, so we'll keep her for now. I think we'll go ahead and have her oversee breeding, which gives our army pursuit plus 4%. So it just helps us chase down enemies. Go ahead and let a little time pass here. Yeah, we need these plagues to go away so we can end our entrenched regency and also begin a hunt to gain a little bit more prestige. Army being raised down here. Something's going on down here in good old Leinster. I'm actively having to resist the temptation of declaring war on this guy down here because it would probably go well, because I can't imagine that a guy who only has a county in this area has a lot of military presence here, but like I just don't want to end up in a situation where I declare war on him and then somebody else jumps in and then somebody else jumps in and then suddenly I'm just ass out on an entire war against somebody who's like across the English Channel here. I think we should really try to focus and hone in on getting Ireland under our control before we start branching out to other places. That's at least my instinct. Oh, and because of our low control in the earldom of Enos, gained deserting levies for 10 years. Our troops are abandoning us, and we would normally sick our marshal on him and try to get them under control, but he is already doing so in Thomond, and actually, now that I think about it, it might be best to have him do his thing in Enos for a little while, just to get them at least both a little bit under control. I don't really know what the better strategy is, if it's better to have complete control of one county or decent control in 2 counties. But we're gonna try it out, see what happens. And Chiefess Serlaith here, I gotta say, maybe it's been a while since I checked, but like she is not looking so healthy, and she's not looking quite as voluptuous as she once did, if I may say so myself. Hopefully she's gonna make it out okay. But consumption, if I remember correctly, consumption is like it's sort of over for you once you catch it. I could be wrong. Well, nevertheless, she gained major diplomatic expertise. With experience, High Chiefess Serlaith's skill at diplomacy has increased. Well, thank you very much, Chiefess Serlaith. We could really have you helping out Dodgis here, because he's just ruining everything in his current position. Also, Dodgis only has 10 diplomacy now? Oh, I think he caught consumption, and it's making him less diplomatic. But then again, pretty much everyone else that we would hire also has consumption, and so their skills are basically just as bad as his, not worse. Yeah, consumption just kind of makes everything a little bit harder, doesn't it? Well, Earldom of Venus definitely lost deserting levies because of Airlaid's continued efforts in increasing the control in the county. Airlaid's one of those guys you need to keep by your side, not like that bald douche Dodgis. Oof. Prematurely, the child was not meant to be. My wife, High Chiefess Samthon, assures me it is the way of life, but her hand lingers on her belly. She's no longer pregnant. See if we can do something for High Chiefess Samthon there. Is there anything that we could do that might cheer her up? Murdering her probably wouldn't help, I don't think. How about sending her a gift? We could attempt to seduce her or romance her, but honestly, like, is that really what you want in the time of you know, losing a child like that? I don't know. I think sending her a gift is in order. It's only 16 gold. Will money fix this issue? No, but, you know, it buys a bottle of wine or two, I suppose. Oh my goodness, the deaths just don't stop. Outliving a child, sickness and pestilence continues its harrowing march through Munster, laying low peasant and noble alike. That brutal, indiscriminate truth rarely lays itself bare until moments like these. My stomach twists and writhes in silent agony as the body of my son Bran is borne past me. Physicians and healers worked from dawn until dusk to save him, but their grim faces told everyone more than they would say. So young, so full of promise, so many more left to die like this. God deliver us. Rest in peace, little Bran. So we gain 32 stress and go back into critical stress mode, and Bran is dead. As much as I hate to say it, this actually solves a problem for us in that it removes him from the line of succession, so it just makes things a little bit easier on that front, but certainly not something you want to see every day. We have gained a stress level. Oof, not good. So let's see here now, let's check in on our line of succession. So of course, inheriting the High Chiefdom of Munster is going to be Drognath MacDrognath, who I hope doesn't have consumption? No, he actually seems fine. He's both charming and beautiful. Look at this kid. He's also going to inherit the earldom of Mordecius, which is sort of our primary... It's not our primary title, but it is sort of the seat of our power, I guess you could say. He is also set to inherit the earldom of Enos, meaning that the only thing that is inherited by somebody other than Drognath is, of course, Rodan McDrognath inheriting the earldom of Tomund. So we will need to fix that at some point. I think we're okay to leave it for just a little bit longer. We may at some point need Rodan to take the vows, however, if that's a possibility. Let's see what happens when Rodan comes back from being a hostage. See if that doesn't change things up a little bit. And another event here, Malingering Scent. In times like these, it's best to be wary of any strange smells. This one, however, emanates from a corner of the market square, and it is positively fragrant. Get your sachets here, only the freshest and best herbs used. I don't know if I'm saying that word right. Sachets? Sachets? The crafty merchant's stall was covered in various aromatics, and he holds a pouch filled with them in each hand as he hawks the wares. He notices me and extends one for me to try. Only the best, my lord. Keep your right safe from Drognath's flu at will. I pluck the sachet from the proffered hand. It does seem like something that would keep the miasma away. So we can outright refuse to buy it, which basically doesn't do anything except have this merchant lose 10 opinion of us, so we're not going to do that. We can just buy it for 50 gold, but I don't want to do that. I have a 63% chance of buying it for less than he initially proposed, of 15 gold, 18% chance to just buy it at base price, and then 18% chance of him just sort of being annoyed with us and not really selling it to us at all. I'm going to take the risk. And it went our way, so we gained the protective sachet for 10 years, and we paid 15 gold to our friend there. Excellent stuff. And you know what? I'm going to make a little role-playing decision here, and this is probably not the best strategic move that I could make, but role-playing wise, I'm going to say that when my character here, Drognath, bought this protective sachet, he decided that he was going to emerge from seclusion. It's time, people. It's time that we come out from where we were. We're going to emerge here. The sun feels unfamiliar and hostile on my skin. The wind feels cold and violating. When was the last time I took a breath of air as God made it? How glad I am to be back. Well, things aren't quite better yet, bud, but certainly it's time for the ruler to come and make a difference here. First things first, end this entrenched regency. We'll dismiss Dodgis with a wave of our hand. We're going to designate a new regent here because... Oh wait, let me show you here. So the next time that we need a regent, somebody to take power while we're the next time that we're indisposed or busy, the person who would be taking over is High Chiefess Flan. Now we love Flan, of course, she's great, but she is self-interested, so we want to replace her with somebody who will have our best interest at heart. You know, I don't know if there's anybody better than High Chiefess Serlaith for this job. Her aptitude is not great, but she is selfless. But the other thing to think about here is that she has very poor health. She indeed has consumption. Now, so do these other people here, which is strange. But Finn, at least, you know, we have a hook on him, and he also has an aptitude of good for sort of being in power. I think we're going to go ahead and designate him. Now, something to take into consideration here is that if we designate Finn as our regent, any character with a higher succession score than Finn will lose opinion of us, scaling to the score difference. So basically what that means is he has a -10 score for this succession. So anybody who's got a higher score than him is going to be PO'd at us, which is, you know, a lot of people. But sometimes you just got to do what you think is right. Finn, you're the new regent. Regent presumptive, I should say. So our power sharing ended with Dodgis. Good riddance. Still not able to fire Dodgis at this very moment, but soon. But the next thing that we want to do is start planning this hunt so that we can gain some prestige. I believe we said we were going to do it in Kinsale. Actually, never mind. I forgot that we had the goddamn plague, so fuck that. When Kassane gained 10 trade experience in the novice physician trait. Great job, Kassane. You're keeping us all safe here, bud. Oof. And this is what I was afraid of. Consumption, my poor son. Grave news reaches me. My son and heir Drognath has fallen ill with consumption. The future is uncertain. Death lingers closely by his bedside. Yet all is not lost. Drognath might survive should luck be on his side. Only Saint Radon knows his fate. The physician wants to know how my son should be treated. I think Kassane has done us well thus far, and he's one of our best friends. So I think we're going to trust his judgment and let him decide what kind of treatment Drognath receives. And I can see the beginnings of the plague starting here in South Munster. Let's see if I can go back into seclusion here now that I have a different region. Enter seclusion. Let's see what we can do here. We'll lock the door. We lost 20 legitimacy, which is not good. But desperate times call for desperate measures. It's honestly a wonder that I have not caught consumption yet, though I do remember that I took whole of body as one of my lifestyle traits, so I don't necessarily catch plague super easily. But everyone around me has it and is dying from it. It's kind of a wonder that I haven't gotten it yet. And another son has entered the picture. With a tired yet blissful smile, Durgale presents me with the perfect little son. Who will you become, my child, and what shall I call you? Let's go with a good insular name. I don't hate Tomas. I think I might go with Tomas. Welcome to the world, bud. Let's make sure you get a good education here. Yeah, since I'm available, I suppose I will go ahead and be his guardian. You'd think it would be kind of automatic since he is my son and everything, but that's not really the way it works out. Oh man, and another child is lost. Nuala, our daughter, who actually we had given to, I believe, High Chieftain Mugron? Or no, sorry, it was High Chieftain Merdok, the son of Mugron of Connacht. But yeah, she has passed away from the plague. Rest in peace, little Nuala. We're gonna gain 32 stress from this, good lord almighty. Who knew it was so stressful to lose children to the plague? And we get word from High Chieftain Merdok. I regret to inform you that your daughter Nuala is dead. Forgive me for so utterly failing in my duties as her warden. I hope you may one day forgive me, for both our sakes. Whatever transpired here, my son and heir Mugron is innocent in this matter. It cannot be. Yeah, I'm not gonna like start beating your son because my daughter died in the plague. But, you know, it was your responsibility to take care of her, and you've failed in that, certainly. I've made the decision that we are going to wait to declare war on anybody until next year. I will not be declaring a new war this year. Just doesn't quite make sense at this moment. And I'm dang close to either pardoning Dodgis or maybe just imprisoning him and going without a chancellor for the moment. It's a tough choice, and one that I think I will also wait on. That never happens in real life, right? Where politicians and people of power commit crimes and then just kind of like get away with it and continue being in positions of power. That never happens. That's not realistic at all. Visions of the divine. I beckon my friend Cassane to join me in the circle of brass orbs and candles arranged on staves throughout the dark room. The incense cloying the air to ward off the bad vapors makes our eyes tear up in little time. This is how, through the corner of our eyes, we will spot the inscrutable form of angels. However, Cassane soon takes pause. This feels wrong. These are divine beings, not meant for mortal eyes to see. I think we've seen this event before. I don't remember, though. Alright, well, here's the thing. With this option here, we have a 36% chance of convincing Cassane to assist me, and we can gain 100 learning lifestyle. And there's a pretty decent chance that we fail to sway Cassane, but we only lose 5 opinion from him if that's the case, so I really don't think it's that big of a gamble. We'll go ahead and try to assure him that our intentions are pure. And he was persuaded, so we actually gained 100 learning lifestyle experience. Cassane, I knew you'd have my back, bud. My best bud, Cassane. Now we need to do something about this stress level, because it's actually getting to a point where it's not looking good. So we can attempt sewer slide, which I would like to try to avoid doing at this point. But I think we're going to lash out. We'll lose some stress, and we've already established that this guy's just sort of an angry dickbag. So we'll go ahead and lash out at somebody. Stress coping. Let it out. As soon as everyone is seated and Dunsik starts talking, I smile impatiently. Dunsik, sorry to interrupt, but why are you always such an abhorrent witch? The look on her face. Dunsik loses 40 opinion of us. Holy shit. She already has a pretty bad opinion of us, and we don't want our master of the horse to hate us by any means. And we lose 27 stress. I don't think that was worth it at all. Just like lashing out in real life is not usually worth it. Well, what's done is done. And we're entering into November of 876. My goodness, and the deaths just do not stop. Till death do us part. Sickness and pestilence continues its harrowing march through Munster, laying low peasant and noble alike. We already kind of read this part. I can only watch in silence as the physicians step away from the body of my wife. I move closer, reaching out for her hand. It's still warm. How can a heart endure this kind of pain without breaking? It cannot be possible. Yet here I am, my heart beating on whilst yours has gone quiet. Oh, Jergale, my dearest, life will not be the same without you. At least the memories remain. So we're going to gain 32 stress, and yet again, consumption is just tearing our family apart. We're going to look for another spouse here. Don't think of me as insensitive. It's just that we need to have those slots filled at all times. It'll look weak if we don't. We're gonna go with all our usual stuff here. We need them to be fertile and healthy, same religion as us, same culture as us. See if they have any inheritable traits. And actually, now that I think about it, we'll go with not lowborn without the inheritable traits. I think the best option here is Sierre. She's 26, she's lowborn, but she has the inheritable trait Hail, which just makes any offspring that we might have a little bit better at fighting, a little bit better with their health. The thing that might set that back is that she's actually chaste, which as far as I am aware, just kind of makes it harder to have children with her. But I think that's who we're going to go with for the time being. It's going to cause her to gain 400 prestige, but we're not going to get anything out of the deal. Other than, well, we might have some healthy and able to fight well children. So we'll send that proposal. Dark days in Mordecius, or should I say the earldom, or the high chiefdom of Munster. Oh, and our alliance expired with Chieftain Dunkad, since me and High Chiefess Durgale are no longer married. Chieftain Dunkad, my day one. The question is, do we want to take his land for our own? I hate to be a jerk, but this is kind of the way that our world works here, bud. We're no longer allied. Your land is right there for the taking, and we are much stronger than you are. Even though I said no new wars, here we go. It costs us 20 piety to declare war on Chieftain Dunkad. We're going to turn our back on that alliance, and boom. It's time to go to the mattresses. Declared war on Chieftain Dunkad. Let's raise our armies, and let us send them into battle. We're going to have them march directly on Port Lerge, the capital, Chieftain Dunkad's lands. And Dungal McDungal is commanding our troops here. See how this plays out. Oh, thank goodness. Consumption, balanced humors. As I walk down the halls, I hear some muffled laugh. That voice, I'm not used to hearing it so clear and bright. I push the half-open door, and there in front of me is my wife, Serlaith, seemingly recovered from consumption. My beloved wife is well once more. It's difficult to not shed a tear of joy. Wonderful news. Jesus be praised. So we can designate a guardian for Mugron. I think Durgale was the one watching him, so we'll have to have somebody else watch him now. Bishop Kasane, you can probably do some good for him. He looks like he's sick, so we'll have you watch Mr. Mugron. Send a proposal there. And Chiefess Serlaith, you know what? She has been by our side through thick and thin, and now that she's healthy, I think we might want to romance her. Now, she is, of course, our wife, but we can actually potentially make her our soulmate if this goes well. Oh, wait, I forgot. Actually, we can't do that until we've learned the language of King Carlman. Or, well, we could stop doing that and then start romancing Serlaith. I think maybe we'll do that if everything goes well with the language learning. So we'll wait on that for a bit. Not to mention the fact that war has now come to Southern Ireland once again, and hopefully we're not going to lose too many troops to the plague. That's always a possibility. And Sierre gladly accepts our hand in marriage. May we find strength and support in our union, my perceptive husband. Very good. Oh, yep, and here our troops are already being affected by the plague. Hopefully they can get out of that cloud there soon. And let there be war. Oh, and the army there, actually, the first army of Ormond was able to sort of sidestep us. But we're going to lay waste to their town here. What we're going to do, actually, is take this first army of Rose Cray and station the besiegers and send those who are not besieging after Chieftain Dunkad's men. We're going to go ahead and hire Helgi Kettleson Flatneffer to be our commander of this army. Take this first army of Rose Cray here and send them after Chieftain Dunkad's men. And with that little boost that we have to pursuing because of our Master of the Horse, I think hopefully we should be able to track them down in time. From dust, finally the plague has left the realm, and we must take this as an opportunity to rise from the chaos it left in its wake. We now emerge from the wreckage of the old world, and the time has come to consider the new. We must spare no expense to rebuild. We're going to spend 8 gold and get every county which has been infected in the last 10 years to gain disease recovery for 5 years. Boom! High Chiefess Flan is now bearing our child. She doesn't look very well, but we're coming out of the plague times here, people. People are going to be sick still, but it's time to recover, and it's time to take some land for Mordecius. As you can see here, we're coming up on Christmas of 876 AD. We've got our troops besieging tribe of Port Lerge, and the first army of Rose Cray is now about to make contact with Chieftain Dunkad's men. And as they engage them and the battle rages on, the 31st of December 876 AD is here. What an eventful year, people. We've lost lots of loved ones. We've had some ups and downs, but at the end of the day, the House of Mordecius lives on. If you like this video, please make sure to like it. Please make sure to comment. Let me know what you think of Crusader Kings 3 and House of Mordecius moreover. And make sure to subscribe so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. But other than that, folks, I will see you next time.